Going to talk about what imagery is. Well, imagery is writing in such a way using your five senses that when you close your eyes, it's as if you've been transported to that scene. There's the auditory sense, the auditory imagery, which talks about what you're hearing, the tactile imagery, in which you can describe what you touch, you feel, then the gustatory imagery. Obviously, when you eat something, you either feel sour, bitter, salty, acidic. Then there's the smells, the olfactory imagery, and finally the visual one, which shows you the colors, the patterns, the shapes, the sizes, and all of this are part of descriptive writing. They're all part of describing different people, different places, animals, and objects, all using your five senses. It allows the reader to build a strong image of what is happening. Now, descriptive writing follows a way which is showing, not telling. Now, what is showing, not telling? What do you think it is? Now, if you're telling that the girl cried a lot, how do we show it and not tell it in our writing? Well, you describe the picture, look at what the girl is doing, think of an alternate word for what crying is. Now, telling would be the girl cried a lot, but showing would be the teenager threw herself on her bed and sobbed into her pillow until she fell asleep. The same way, if you're saying Mr. Smith was fat, grouchy old man, it's just telling us what he was like. If I want to show it to you, I'm going to say Mr. Smith heaved his heavy frame out of his armchair. It's actually showing that he's heavy. And while trying to reach for his cane, grumbled. Now he's old. Susan, get yourself over here now. Now look at the difference between these two. If you tell, the impact is not as great, but if you show, it's something worthwhile reading. Now, apart from this, if you look at different people and if you want to say this girl is angry, that will be telling. How do you show it? Well, you look at her face and her body and her voice intonation. You look at what her face is saying. You look at what her body is telling you. You look at her voice. Her cheeks turned red and her eyebrows narrowed. Now that is her face, and you can actually see that she is angry. Her body intonation. She clenched her fists and jammed them into her sides. Now, from the description, you can see that she is angry. You don't need to say that she is angry. She growled at me through clenched teeth. That is her sound. Now, it is very important to understand that these five the things, the sight, the smell, the taste, the sound, and the touch play a very important role in our writings. Now, when we are writing, we need to consider all of these things. Look at some examples of sight. The tiny red ant climbed up the broken twig. What about smell? The sweet smell of the freshly baked apple filled the air. Now the taste, one bite of the sour lemon caused my lips to pucker. You can imagine it. The car squeaked every time I hit a bump in the road. And the touch is the sharp edge of the paper cut my finger and made it sting. You can actually imagine what is going on. So, in descriptives, always show, never tell.